Inclusivity can be perceived from two different viewpoints, a masculine and a feminine. Femininity is by nature unconditional. The latest state of affairs have sparked the discussion about human worth and acceptance. So people are trying to come up with ideas, find ways to improve the situation for minorities, immigrants, differently looking people. There are riots in many different countries, cities, and although we agree that violence won't solve any social issues, I want to take this opportunity to briefly explain how inclusivity works within societies. Tolerance and acceptance cannot be legislated. It's not a reasoning issue, it's a humanitarian problem connected to a person's knack for virtue, empathy. It's like murder. We know it's bad, we know we shouldn't do it, yet there will always be people taking others' lives. That being said, intolerance, like racism, will never be abolished, because it's a big part of our innate nature, judging others. There's a purpose to it, and we cannot get it out of people, no matter how much we try to force it out of them. Forcing people, like the notorious case of Jordan Peterson, will make it even worse by the simple notion of the Newton's third law, where every certain force has an equal reaction against it. Solution has to be pragmatic, not a kumbaya song where we gather around and preach to make love, not war. It doesn't work like that. We humans are much more complicated than just trying to appeal to our empathy. Hatred is fostered in misery. Oftentimes, satiated people don't hate. People having low social positions in societies have an increased tendency for resentment. You hate because you lack. So how do you solve the lack of something? Well, we'll get back to it towards the end. As many other things, inclusivity can be perceived from two different viewpoints, a masculine and a feminine. Femininity is by nature unconditionally inclusive. Citation mark, because there are no demands on the surface, but there's always an underlying agenda. Nothing in life is just. Everything has its purpose, and it's up to us whether we want to discover that truth or not. Femininity seeks out allies in quantity, because back in our past, the amount of different bonds was correlated with the female's survival and her position in the tribe. Women are innately better at making friends and socializing with others compared to men. The dependency is covert and indirect. You could say that there is a part of the maternal instinct woven into it. Conformity, friendliness, kindness, tolerance, acceptance, and overall agreeableness are very prominent feminine traits. The importance of those traces long back into prehistoric days. The more allies, the greater the power within the community. Allies are recruited through a welcoming attitude, mild seduction, and general kindness. Masculinity is inclusive under specific and straight condition. Meritocracy. One has to be of value for masculinity to be included in its community. Allies have to be tested in battle, in hunt, in struggles, before they can be trusted. Men within a tribe were directly, overtly dependent on each other, and it could be a matter of seconds where a hesitation could decide the fate of a comrade. Proving yourself useful not only made you a part of a community, but also promoted your ranking amongst your peers. Men socialized through activities, going on fishing tours, golf parties, sailing adventures. All that is an evolved and innate part of meritocratic qualification. Reassurance of masculine competency. The best way to unite people is to make them to cooperate through value creation, enhancing each other's lives, thus improving personal financial situation. It's with a clear purpose in life that people find similarities between shared experiences and recognize themselves in each other. A human being is never satisfied by getting things handed out to him. The emptiness will prevail and new issues will arise as per biological nature. Growth is a prerequisite to all human endeavors. Whatever you get in life will have much deeper meaning when it serves as a relief to your struggles. Ascension of a specific life wisdom if you must. There has to be a sense of growth and movement. Purposefulness creates fulfillment, whereas restlessness can serve as a start to emotional agony. which makes the search for some kind of indignation to become a natural course of the process, wanting to fill the emptiness with emotions, a drama to feel alive. People feel included when they are marching towards a better life, whatever that means to them. Greater house, fancier car, financial freedom. Many of social problems are a result of boredom, restlessness, and feeling of being lost. A human being needs a purpose. As I see it, there has to be a balance. Countries must take care of own people before giving a hand to others. And whenever that happens, there has to be a clear vision of how to make people feel welcomed. Fighting for something makes the end result more appreciated. Freedom is not a birthright, it's a responsibility.